Facebook for the last 20 years. They've given all their data to Google for the last 20 years. They've given all their data to everyone, and they don't give a single fuck. All they want is something that is cheap and free. Not cheap, sorry. Free. Free and popular. So there are decentralized LLMs. Akash has one. Akash is a chatbot you can use. But is it going to reach mass adoption? Probably not, because people go for convenience. Right? They go for convenience rather than any philosophical reason. But if you believe in a future where that philosophical reason becomes a reality, then over the next 10 years, you want to be looking into these decentralized LLMs. Just like in 2012, 2014, everyone was screaming, the Bitcoin maxis were screaming about, you need to protect your wealth with Bitcoin. You need to understand decentralized money. You need to understand the hardest money ever, the store of value, the da-da-da-da, right? And most people are like, what's that? I don't like, that's a scam, that's a Ponzi, I don't understand it, it goes down too much, it crashes, I'm glad I sold at $10. Now they understand when it's 1,000x higher. So, short term, long term. In the next year, everything on this list in the next year will have some kind of pump. You have to understand, where is it? Is it like Bitcoin cycle 1? Or is it closer to actual solving problems? Pretty much everything is Bitcoin cycle 1 here. AI is cycle 1. Meme coins are cycle 1. Excluding Dogecoin, obviously. But basically all the meme coins that matter are cycle 1. You've got Dogecoin, SHIB, Flocky. They were around last cycle. The rest, Pepe, WIF, etc., 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 they're cycle 1. So cycle 1, they'll have this massive blow off top and all of that, and then they'll die to fucking zero, and then many of them will survive and come all the way back and become features of the future financial system. Why would they though? Does this solve a problem? What problem do meme coins solve? They actually do solve a problem. So markets are very serious in general. This is one thing, right? Traditional markets are very serious and confusing. And the old boomer mindset, or Gen X, or even millennials to some extent, have always viewed finance through this lens of it being very sophisticated. It's not. Everything has always been a meme, and everything will always be a meme. A meme is just a narrative. A meme is a theme. A meme is a story. So, whenever Zoom blew up in 2020 because of COVID, did it blow up because it had superior tech to Google Meet? Nope. Did it blow up because it was technologically just this amazing breakthrough? Nope. Zoom blew up because of the story and the network effects. Story, network effects. It's all just about the story. Go and look at the Zoom chart now. And so it's not a crypto thing. It's a markets thing. Markets love stories when it's in a bull market. When it's in a bear market, that's when the shit gets flushed out, and then we see what's going to come back. So, meme coins scratch that itch of being an easy entrant. So, the actual best use case for meme coins, or I'd say the most value meme coins will provide to the world or to crypto, is this sort of Trojan horse. They come in through memes because memes make things simple to understand, right? Memes don't have any pretense of being real projects. They are essentially just a way to speculate and have a bit of fun, and they're the new casino. But many of you know this, because many of you have told me that you first came in because of memes, right? And then you realize, wait a minute, Bitcoin. And you start off gambling on memes or gambling on NFTs, but then you're in the ecosystem. And then you get orange pilled. And then you get financially educated about the future and the long-term approach. So memes are a great way to attract people to this industry who then stay and then they grow. And they'll always keep some meme exposure, but they will also realize, oh wait, there's other stuff here that actually works. And so they're an onboarding mechanism. So that's really the problem they solve. The problem with crypto is that it has a bad reputation for fraud and scammers and SBF and people like that. But the solution that meme coins have is they make it fun, they make it non-serious, and they allow people to come in and get orange pilled or whatever. Other Ethereum pilled, I guess, if you want. Solana pilled, I guess. But all the other stuff. So they make it a bit more playful, a bit simpler. And of course, they have community aspect and the cult aspect. They are a pure expression of extrinsic value. Their value is entirely derived from attention. And since attention is all that matters, yeah, then meme coins are the best expression of that. Because Zoom was not a good company. Zoom was a good story. Popcat isn't a company, doesn't pretend to be a company, but it has a good story. People like it, people care, people want to own it. I'm not saying buy Popcat, I'm just using an example. DPIN, that's just decentralized physical infrastructure. So an example of DPIN is like Helium, HNT. Helium is a decentralized mobile network. So instead of using Verizon or Vodafone or O2 or whatever, you can actually do that in a decentralized manner. So again, you're disintermediating. You're taking away the middlemen. You're not giving your money to a fucking faceless corporation that is going to push bullshit propaganda on you. You're allowing other people around the world to host these nodes, which you can then access your mobile internet from. And you can extend that beyond. It goes into many, many different areas, but look into DPIN if you think that's a thing. Then you have to say, okay, is that going to be a thing? Like, do I see a future in which everybody abandons Vodafone and everybody abandons Verizon and they all go and use Helium? No. But do I see a world where Helium could increase its market share? Yeah, because its market share at the moment is like 0 or very, 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 very small. You only have to catch 1% of a multi-trillion-dollar market to have a huge company. Yeah. So look into that. I don't think that's going to be a big one this cycle. I think that's way further down the line. But there will be aspects of DPIN that will be really big. Then you got DeSci, decentralized science, right? And decentralized science is all about the centralization of scientific research. Sorry, did I do DeFi? I didn't do DeFi. DeFi, obviously. DeFi, everyone knows DeFi, right? TradFi is limited, barriers to entry, centralized, inefficiencies, and DeFi as a whole uses blockchain technology to remove the middleman. That's the simple thing, right? You remove the middleman. Instead of borrowing from the bank, you borrow from another person. That's it. Simple. The problem with it is that the vast majority of people, again, if you look at mass adoption, the vast majority of people are nowhere near the capability yet to be able to understand or trust how to actually do this stuff on chain. So I'll touch on that at the end of why I don't think DeFi is the thing for this cycle. You got DeSci, decentralized science, which is scientific research. So we know that scientific research is mostly bullshit. It's mostly funded by big pharma, big food, big whatever, big agriculture, big. And it's all corrupted. And they pay the money to get the results they want on the studies that they're doing. If you decentralize that, instead of having restricted access to the research, restricted access to the data, restricted access to the funding, DeSci would allow people to raise money in an open way. So essentially you have DAOs, and a DAO allows you to fund projects that you want to fund along with other people, where they can do the research that you guys want them to do. So that actually makes sense. But the inevitable case for this is it's going to get corrupted as well. Because if you have a decentralized science, right? If you have a decentralized science ecosystem, then whoever has the most money controls the votes. Because if it's all about put $1 billion into this DAO and then we decide what to do with it, whoever puts in 800 million out of that billion gets to decide what happens. Unless they figure out a way to not have it based proportionally on their, money power, then it's going to be hard. But it's an alright idea. Gaming, simple. Traditional gaming is perfect. So I'm not a believer whatsoever in GameFi, but I could be wrong. Gaming, again, problem, solution. What's the problem with gaming? Many of you have played games or you are gamers. What are the problems? Have you ran into problems with Call of Duty? Have you ran into problems with fucking Minecraft? Has there ever been a point you're like, oh, I really wish it had this? The only thing that the crypto bros will push on you is that it restricts your ownership of the assets in game, right? And value extraction. So being able to actually own your skins, for example, your CSGO skins and all this kind of stuff. Being able to own them and trade them through NFTs across a blockchain is interesting and novel, right? But I don't think it's a mass market appeal. I think people play games to escape reality. And I don't think they give a single fuck, 99% of the world, give a single fuck about whether they have a tokenized CSGO skin on chain, or they just want to go and zone out and play games. So I'm not a bull on that, but could be wrong. Metaverse, same thing, right? Metaverse is like, in the future, everyone's going to live on the internet. They're all going to live in this digital society. No one's going to live in the real world. They're all going to have their VR headsets on. And meh, meh, meh. Humans are human. Metaverse, I don't think, is going to be the place. It's going to grow, right? There is going to be more VR and AR, right? Virtual reality, augmented reality. This is all going to happen. But, I mean, you saw the Apple Vision Pro or whatever and the Google glasses. They both launched in the last 2 or 3 years. Massive flops. I think the Apple one was recent, right? Apple Vision Pro. Massive flop. Google glasses got discontinued, I believe. Facebook's Oculus Vision, I'm pretty sure, is not doing well either. So you could say, we're just early. We're early. Okay. We're early, I guess. Bet on it if you want. So then, that's how you understand narratives. So find the narrative first. Find the category first. Do some reading and some research on what they're promising you. So go and read the project, read the white paper, read the influencers who are shilling it. What is the story they're telling? If they're telling you a story about some DeFi project, ask yourself, does this solve a crypto problem or a global problem? Global problems are 100x potential. Crypto problems are not. Crypto problems are limited to crypto people, which is our existing market, which is a few hundred billion, right? Because Bitcoin is 2 trillion. Everything outside of that is like another trillion. But outside of Ethereum and Solana and the others, if you go down into like the app level, there's like $500 million of market cap. $500 billion, of market cap, of all that. That's the addressable market for the crypto problem. That's what I think DeFi really struggles with. Do people want to use Aave as a decentralized bank? Or is the mass market, the global market, just going to continue to use the regular bank? And then end up having some Bitcoin because they'll get educated through crypto to learn, okay, I don't want to have all my net worth in a fucking Charles Schwab account. That's more likely, right? So that's it. Now you understand themes and narratives. A narrative is just a solution to a problem. So when you see people shilling stuff online, ask yourself, what's the narrative? What is the problem that they are purporting? And is there a solution to it? And does their project provide that solution? And then, when will that solution be real? Is it going to be 10 years from now? Is it already happening? And so on and so on and so on. That's when you get into network effects. And that's when you get into the idea of the future growth. All right. Now, everyone can do this. Everything I've just talked about. Every single one of you. White belt, blue belt, purple belt. Anything. This is about your cycle bags. Yeah? Your cycle bags, the 80%, is just set and forget. You want to do your research, you want to pick your major, you want to pick your altcoins, you want to put your whatever, 70% into Bitcoin, 10% into some memes, 10% into some AI, 10% into some tokenization. Then you find the projects within that, right? Maybe you pick a meme on base and you pick a meme on Solana. Maybe you pick a major meme like Pepe and you pick a much lower cap meme that could grow a lot more. Base it on the charts, of course. Then you say, okay, I also want exposure to AI, so I want some AI exposure on the infrastructure side. The infrastructure side could be, oh, I want to have some Akash, because if decentralized compute keeps blowing up, then I want to have some of my 10% in Akash. And I also want to have some of these AI agents, like the stuff that's happening now with the explosion of these Truth Terminal and all that other shit. And if you're picking a third one, what was the third one? Like RWA. I want to have exposure to real world assets and tokenization. So you want to look into some of these chains that are trying to do tokenization or moving into that RWA space, or some apps that are allowing to have stocks and bonds being put on chain, etc., etc., etc. You need to do research for this stuff. And then get it in, set it, forget it, and away you go. And set up your 80%, get back to boot camp, and get grinding. That's the advice for everyone, regardless of what stage you're at. Get your 80% set up. Just get your cycle bag set and go. Then, if you're not a purple belt or above, if you are not an experienced trader yet who has fully built systems, what do you do with that 20%? Right? Because let's say you've got 10 grand, you now know what to do with the 8 grand. But if you've got 2K sitting there in USDT, is that going to go to waste? Or do you think, should I have it there? Or should it not also be in coins? Well, you can buy the dip. BTFD. Buy the fucking dip. Which just means you can have it in cash until such times as you see the market have a major correction, and maybe you hear me or Adam or someone talking about that we're buying more. And maybe you could then go to your 80% and allocate in the same percentages into those coins. Or, very simple, just keep it in Tether or Bitcoin until you reach purple belt, and at that point you then start to trade with it with your stack. It all flows through bootcamp. Set yourself up, get into bootcamp, grind. Lastly, do not over diversify. I've talked about a bunch of different things here. The recommendation is not to be in all of them. Do not end up having 10 or 20 coins. Do not over rotate. Do not try to fucking take your RWA bags and rotate them over into DeFi and rotate them over into meme coins and rotate and try and time everything. Be patient. Set and forget. And then, if you want to try and play all these different narratives and you're at purple belt or above, that's what you do with your 20%. That's what you build your systems for. You trade shorter term from a few days to a few weeks. And you trade the spicy stuff to feed the itch and to also boost your portfolio. Because in a bull market, it's very real. You want to be in, you want to be active, you want to be getting exposures, you want to be doing that. There's nothing wrong with trying things out. There's nothing wrong with trying to catch new narratives. As long as you're following a process, there's nothing wrong with doing it. You just don't do it with your entire stack like most people. You do it with a smaller percentage so that if you do hit a big winner, it gives you a boost and you can put that back into your majors. I'll finish with a quote by the GOAT, Jesse Livermore. If you've read Reminiscences of a Stock Operator, the book I recommend, you'll know this. It was never my thinking that made the big money. It was always my sitting. What that means is you do your thinking like this. You do your plans. You pick your assets. You get in. And then you wait. You have a time frame, let's say the next year, and you get in and you wait. And that's it. GM. GM, 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 GM. So, I know there's questions here, live questions, but I'm going to have to do them tomorrow because that went longer than expected and I don't have time. Because Blue Belt streams in 30 minutes and questions that are here, anyone here, your questions will be answered tomorrow. Questions will be answered tomorrow. GM. Thank you all for joining. Hope you enjoyed. This will be added to Learning Center later. GM, GM, GM. Talk soon.
I'm truly pleased to meet you, but it is hard to believe that our only choice is to place faith in that you're the one who can succeed. In lieu, I pray. To bring you up to speed, we're guarding the entrance of Gallatin Cave, which is covered in bloody vines. The vines prevent us from entering the cave from outside and the monsters from leaving the cave. However, just as suddenly the vines appear, they can disappear again. The monsters in the cave may attack the village. Rhythmatic says elemental skill tree. Yeah, kind of. The herbalist Morgan thinks that the blood vines are the work of a fallen tree spirit. We couldn't defeat it no matter how many times we tried. Oh Lord, this is the horn of a tree spirit, and you came through the withered forest of spirits. This should get rid of those blood vines you defeated long more, so you should be able to find out what happened in the cave. Inside the cave is a shrine for one of the Order's holy relics, which has the power to stop demons from entering the cave. Something must have gone wrong with the holy relic, or the demons wouldn't have been able to stir up trouble in the cave. Find the shrine and examine the holy relic. The monsters in the cave are more terrible and powerful than the ones you saw in the forest, so be careful. Lots of dialogue. Yo, I'm literally almost dead. 1,200? How much money? Oh, I got tons of money. Alright, there's old boy. Elemental skill tree. So yeah, this is like the beginning of the skill tree here, and you could choose like frost, lightning, or fire. And then I haven't really looked much up here, but it's just expansion. Like on the left side is your active stuff, and then on the right side I'm assuming is all the passive stuff. Very much like Diablo 4. Like a simplified version, but yeah. See, like, I don't have... My controller won't do that. Like, I can't use the D-pad or anything on this particular thing. Interestingly. Travel. Okay, so it's linear, so it doesn't seem that I can go backwards, because even if I click on this, you can only move to the next area. Okay, so it literally tells you. I was thirsty. This place looks lovely. Oh, there's somebody in trouble. Help me. Abel, he's an alchemist. Thanks, because of you, I'm alive. I know it looks strange, but there's no need to be worried. I'm an alchemist. You could smell the scent of blood in this cave, and I thought it might be of help to me. Blood is life itself, and I can't think of a better ingredient for brewing potions and stopping life from slipping away. I know it was crazy to come this far. You didn't really come here to save me, but I owe you regardless. I'm Abel. Find the alchemist in town, and I'll help you on your arduous journey. Alright. Oh, shit. Oh. Kamikaze boy. Ice works better on this guy, I think. This is like some... Have y'all... I don't know... hold on. Rhythmatic says, Helmet Fire, do you know good quality and affordable cam for stream? Oh, boy. If you want to hit me up in DMs on X, I can tell you what I know. I haven't bought a camera in a long time. And what Shady's saying is exactly what my question was going to be, but we can save that for DMs if you'd like. But that's up to you. These creatures are crazy looking. I will say this is way different than I expected for a game. I wasn't expecting this game to be this. I was expecting more of a traditional Metroidvania. This is more of a... Oh wait, I can't go anywhere. What did I miss? Oh. I was expecting kind of a more like The Last Faith, you know, like an actual Metroidvania. This is something else. I don't know what to call this. This is more of a ARPG that's just using Metroidvania platforming. Yo, can you quit eating me? Yeah, so I'm not exactly